Why are there so many things to delete on every single web page? Every single web page has something crazy going on. What do you mean the header goes to the bottom? What do you mean it goes all the way to the bottom when you zoom in too much on desktop to try to emulate a mobile platform uh, 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 navigation mode on a non-mobile platform? Um, it also nobody would want that on a mobile platform. Nobody would want that on a mobile platform. People would still prefer if you just have the text content and you can just because you just have a go to the top button or something. It's better choice. And then the floating menu button that doesn't lead anywhere and whole side tab you have to get rid of. Anyways, look at this. I was um I was checking up on like the newer changes in TypeScript and I was like, oh, this because there's a lot of things that I'm out of date on certain things. It's been a while since I've actually like been super deep into it. I still hold it's one of the better languages because of its interesting place within um the way that it's used and the way that it comes in as a superset of a language that is simply compiled down to that language allows for some very interesting functionality that makes it extremely good, such as the idea of was it inferred types? I think that's the one, which other languages still struggle with in many different ways. Like say, for instance, in Rust, you have to use specific language constructs to get that exact type of like inferred typing in order to know if say an option has a sum value. You can just use that sum value. You can't just use is sum, check on that, and then the compiler knows that, oh, there's something here. It's difficult to be able to describe that to the compiler. The TypeScript you can because it just sits on top. But then you also get stuff like this. I've seen this used in very fascinating and horrible ways. Basically, I think it was a developer at Discord. I think they found out that it was that the typing and the string literal the things that you can do with a template string literal is like Turing completed something. So they actually made like an entire program using only types, and it was actually pretty impressive. And they've added more things actually that I didn't know. For instance, ways to transform a string before it's used, such that it acts almost like a function, but is actually expressed solely as a type. And it can do this because it's going to compile your code down into the actual code itself. Um, this is awful. I really hope nobody uses this in my code. But you know what? It's kind of cool. It is kind of cool that it's possible. I just don't know if I would like this within my own code. I feel like I would go crazy. Hello everyone, and welcome to a non-programming day. This is a non-programming day. I actually didn't expect to be here today, but then I found out, and this is funny, and I'm a bad uncle, but my niece's graduation's on the 25th or something like that. I don't know. It's like some later day, and she's like, we still have like a couple of days left." And I was like, "What? Isn't it in like like less than a couple of days?" And she's like, "No, no." She's like, "It's in a couple of days." And I was like, "Oh." So I don't know. It's happening sometime later in the week, but she still actually doesn't know when because she lost the paper. She lost the paper that tells us when it happened. So we'll have to wait for it to find it, and if anything, like last minute, she's gonna like call. I don't know. She'll figure it out and she'll let us know. If we don't show up on time, it's because of her. But ideally, we'd be able to help, but there was no way for us to. I don't think there's any way for us to. So, but yeah, that's why I'm here. I'm actually gonna be here until I think the 23rd, the 24th. That's probably the safe amount of time for me to stay here, and then I'll probably go. Probably like 23rd actually. Probably just up to the 23rd because on 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, kind of want to sleep. But yeah, this is some very interesting stuff that I found because I was getting deeper into a programming rabbit hole again. I've been programming stuff, for instance, in WASM for various reasons, and one found out that Vite, the web build tool that is just like the whole ecosystem is just genuinely confusing, is now going to be 8.1 in about a couple of days. Actually, it's actually very interesting. And it brings with it some very interesting improvements, like direct WASM imports, because apparently the spec is in phase 3 and has been in phase 3 for 2 years. I didn't know that the WASM phase. I didn't know that the WASM ESM integration like standard was in phase 3, aka the integration phase for 3 years. I didn't know that. So apparently now bundlers and other tools, basically all the tooling around it, and like browser support for it and so on is now being worked on such that you can just import it directly into your code, like a WASM file, and you can just use it. And it works very well. It's funny because back then you needed like a loader to do it yourself first. You had to get this sort of init construct. You had to actually like here. I don't even know if I can like can I open this? You basically had to do this to load WASM, and you had to do this like you had to init the instance sort of asynchronously, and then make sure that it works, and then you could do your stuff within it. But it very much limited the ways that you could use it because you'd have to switch context into an async context, which was sort of frustrating for different things depending on what you did. But like this has like a sync context too, but it was kind of like you just kind of hope that it worked. And also like there was a bit of ceremony around having to create the file in a specific way and having to build a wrapper around it every single time. Now you don't have to. Now you just import it and it just works. Everything just works. I mean, as far as I can tell, I'm assuming various bundlers and tools and stuff are gonna have their own wrappers around it. But hey, it's nice. There's been a lot of changes. I didn't even know that like Vite was on 8.1. Nor did I know that they spun out like a whole company for it. They spun out a whole company for it. There's actually like this company that makes this thing called, what is it, Oxy? The oxidation compiler, which is written in Rust. It's actually this company called Void Zero. It's actually sort of interesting to see that everything is going towards this like idea of high performance. Because I'm gonna say it, and this is something crazy to think about. The development experience on web is still bar none one of the better ones compared to other development environments. Like you get hot reload, you get instant feedback on what you do wrong, you get instant changes on the website, even granular to the point where you can just see exactly what you changed. And this is the same for like client development on mobile. But for everything else, it's like the Stone Ages still. There's no way to actually hot reload things. I think Rust still has like a fairly, I don't know if I can find it. Not Taffy. What's that like Rust hot reload lib? What's that? Sorry, I'm trying to find the one that like. Trying to find the one that was used. It's an experiment in this. What problem? We're complete Deoxys. Here we go. Like Rust has. There's a group that's like starting to work in this at Deoxys Labs, which is very interesting. They've actually started to this thing that allows you to actually hot reload Rust. It's very limited at the moment, I think. It doesn't actually allow you to do very, very much, I think, but I can't remember what the limitations of it were. I think there was a lot that you had to do to signal that certain things could be, as well as like how to do so. Where would you insert it into certain places, right? But it actually works fairly well if you do use projects that use it, or if you just use it yourself. It's surprisingly pretty fully featured. Made by a group that's trying to do this like React Native-esque deal for Rust, which is actually a very fascinating way of doing it. But this is still sort of in many ways an experiment, if that makes sense, in terms of like the ways that it can be used and how easy it is to use and how sort of fully featured it is, compared to the reality that like I think nowadays any JavaScript tool that comes out without hot reload is basically dead in the water. And it's fascinating to see just how much better the experience is on web. It's actually absurd how much faster it is, how much easier it is to work with things, how much better it is to work with things, how less of a headache it is to work with things, and how much more widespread this functionality is across every single tool or framework or something that you use. And it is amazing. But yeah, stuff like this has a bit more ceremony. I mean, obviously, there's a lot more things to care about. It's not running in the VM, right? Rest is just native code, so you compile it down. You have all these libraries and stuff. You have to hot reload by patching those, right? Pretty much. This gives you something that's sort of like on top of that allows you to do that. But still, it's kind of nice to see it work, and it actually works fairly well. This is also very interesting. I played around with this for a bit. And it works pretty much exactly as advertised. It's quite impressive, actually, how well this works. Because you wouldn't expect it to work so well. But it feels nice. Like it actually does feel nice. Because you would think it'd be painful to work with something like this, but no, it actually integrates everything that you need to make very good looking applications. It has Tailwind, it has React, it has everything that you need. You can use it to build anything that you already build today, and it works on all platforms. I was surprised when it compiled from my phone. I was like, oh wow, that actually works. So, you know what? Crazy stuff going on. It's makes you wonder why there's such a thing as was it again PHP native? Was it again? Native PHP? Yeah, it makes you wonder why there's such a thing as native PHP. Laravel on your phone. Holy shit! I still find this funny. What do you mean Laravel on your phone? What in God's name do I need a database for on my phone? You know what I mean? Because Laravel is like primarily it's all primarily made for server side stuff. There's like a lot of like client side stuff in it because you have to be able to like render pages and send it over. But for the most part, it's all server side stuff. Like I'm pretty sure Socialite, Sanctum, Octane, Horizon, Cashier. I mean, some of the stuff could be used in the front end. It's like, okay, form-based authentication, sure, okay. Authentication system for SBAs. Wait, actually, supercharges your applications. Wait, actually, Horizon. Yeah, here we go. Why would you want to run a web page to see your queues and stuff like that? It's just weird. And then you have like a database adapter and everything. You have Cashier that allows you to do subscription and billing like on client, which is awful because you ideally want to do it on your server and you just have your client call out to it. It's so many different things about it. I just don't understand what is the point of having Laravel on your phone. Um, and you know what? As much as I like PHP, hey, Rust is pretty good too. Though I can't imagine trying to do input on it. Yeah, just anything that involves like a lot of dynamic typing, I can't imagine how painful that would be. But thankfully, other things like CERT make it easy. But yeah, sorry, I got into like a huge rabbit hole with programming. Found a bunch of really cool things, and I was like, oh shit, that's very nice. And again, everything gets spun out as its own company too. Like here, look, you have Vite plus Alpha, open source, unified, next gen. What is Vite plus Alpha? Is a new unified tool chain that adds all of these into a single tool chain. Which, by the way, is interesting because like these are already a part of the single tool chain, but it includes these things too. So now you get to do this, and then all these commands work together. Blah blah blah. There's performance, and you just get to use it. It's thankfully it's all free, but like it feels like it's slowly like it might go the way of Next.js eventually, and it's like, oh, okay, now you have this like specific tooling that you have to use, and you're locked in, and so now you have to use it, and then it's gonna like it's gonna blow all of your budget soon. But hey, it works for now. Thank you Void Zero for making this stuff. It was actually very interesting. I also thought actually, and it's interesting for me too, especially because I thought tooling companies were dead. I thought genuinely every time I've ever seen a tooling company come out, it's always been sort of the way of the dinosaur. Nobody pays for things. No one pays for tooling. Nobody pays for systems. No one pays for frameworks. Nobody pays for licenses. It's sort of a very difficult space to be in because developers, despite making six figures and despite companies making multiple millions of dollars just off of investments alone, cash infusions and all the other good stuff, I don't know, just like VC investments. Despite all of that, and obviously it's sort of simplifying it because you have to be careful of your burn rate, but still, despite all of that, very difficult to get people to pay for things because so much of it was free, right? So much of open source was free and still is free, and so it's like it's difficult to go like, hey, why would I pay for JetBrains when I have like NeoVim and language servers? And it's like, sure, it's free, but it's also free because it's being subsidized by somebody else's effort, right? You have like the one dude in Oklahoma who's writing some LSP server for your LSP server. I mean some sort of like LSP server for your language, for your obscure niche language called Zig, or what's another obscure language? Just kidding. But yeah, just it's like one dude in Oklahoma, and it's like I don't know if it's actually free or if it's just by the good graces of somebody who's willing to throw their life away to make it work, right? But it works. It works out. It just means that for a very long time, people just aren't gonna pay for things. So I thought the entire venture of making like a tooling company was dead because who's gonna pay for it? But yeah, people actually do, and people care about it. People do care about making stuff work, and seems like donations still work out because look, even these donations are not scams. You have Amplify. Well, actually, no, these are VC investors. What? joining Cloudflare, June 3rd. We're excited to announce that Void Zero is joining Cloudflare. Holy shit. Okay, maybe, okay, to be fair, this is one of the two ways that it happens, okay? You either get enough funding and customers that you can run your own business, or somebody else buys you out for your team talent and uses you to build other things, but also work on your thing, and then leverages that like faster development cycle, that prioritization priority, and then allows you to just basically work on everything. Started working on Void when. We open source Vite Plus, and now we're working on Void. Ship Vite apps at warp speed, a deployment platform at Cloudflare. Wow. Huh. One command to production. Okay, yeah, so they are going for the next... Well, what is this? Why is there clickbait on this? Why is it clickbait?
So I'm going to do one more thing. So we're going to... Is it just a... Deployed at the edge on Cloudflare workers.
You know what? I had a feeling it would be workers. They've been Cloudflare has been slowly but surely pushing their workers stuff for a very, very long time. Vendor lock-in, final boss. Vendor lock-in, final boss. That will allow better DX overall. We want to be pretty upfront with it. No surprise or promises to be fully agnostic as open that aren't kept. A monopoly with a smile is still a monopoly. Now Vericel will build OpenVoid in the next 48 hours with Cloud Cloud. Cloudflare, thanks. Rip Next.js, praise the Lord. Evan tried his best so hard not to mention React when listing framework examples. Dude, it is hard. It's like the only one that is really still dominant within like most major markets. And it's what you have to say, but it's very difficult. This is what we call. I'm still deploying with Docker. Wow! Imagine using just use the OCI spec, buddy. You're still using like a corporate entity, spec. And this is what will get Cloudflare the attention it deserves. What? This is what will get Cloudflare the attention it deserves. Cloudflare is literally the everybody uses Cloudflare. Everybody uses Cloudflare. It's literally everywhere. The cloud primitives allow so much innovation, and with a void never that is a big one. What this person has not been on the internet for like 20 years. Baron Trump's marvelous underground journey. What the fuck? Dude, no wonder this person doesn't know anything, man. No wonder this person doesn't know anything. Please don't. What the hell does that mean? Basically soon for Laravel for JavaScript or something close. No, shut the fuck up.
That capabilities.
What happened to what happened to the people on YouTube? Why is everybody on YouTube like this? Why do they have no sense of anything? They just say things. They just say things. They just say things and they think of things and they think of the craziest shit. They actually think of the craziest shit that like nothing makes sense. Yeah, I had a feeling it would be the Cloudflare workers stuff. The Cloudflare's team and like the workers project has been growing very steadily. They've actually been slowly eating the lunch of other similar places. One, the brand name helps a lot. Knowing that it's on Cloudflare helps a lot. Two, this stuff is really, really good, and the free tier is like disgustingly free. It's actually crazy. I still look at their like database offering, and I'm like, man, that's pretty good for a free tier. D1, I think. Serverless, it's got SQL semantics. It's actually really good. I wish I could go to pricing somewhere. I wish there was an easy way to see pricing, but all these platforms obscure pricing and only to make a buck. There we go. Look at this. 5 GB total it's honestly a lot when you consider what goes into a database. Like unless you're storing full on like binary blobs of some kind and you're just converting it to like I don't know text or something or like a JSON blob or something. This is a lot of value for what you have because the overhead of each single entry is like basically zero. And so it's all the data that you store, and most data is typically very, very sort of plain text. And especially when it's like application text, you can usually scope it down to a specific format that's like, okay, well, only this, right? Obviously, it depends on what you do, but if you're making an Amazon clone, you probably have other problems to deal with. That's crazy. It's like, oh, that's very cheap. It's only when you pay that it costs a lot. Aux format, wait, matches pretty as JavaScript for... Holy shit. Maybe I should. they should use this. But yeah, I got into a giant development rabbit hole. It's a very interesting stuff, slowly coming out. It's fascinating. You sort of see this stuff slowly building up over years and years, and finally you see it. And I made this joke in the Discord that I was like, finally, in my lifetime, we're going to see the completion of different things that I heard about as a wee lad of 20 something. And I was like, wow, these things are really gonna come to life. Like WASM, wow, I remember seeing that initial video of that talk maybe like a decade ago. It's like WASM's the next big thing, and I'm like, yay. And then it hasn't come out for less. And then but like now it's actually getting crazy, and people are using it, and Amazon's using it in the clients, and like other places are using it in the clients, and I've worked on places that have used it in the clients, and I've helped like I guess like MVP certain things for certain places that have made it come out in certain clients. We're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're actually getting there. Soon. Soon, I'll never have to touch JavaScript ever again. Soon, I can live my life in Rust, where things are better. Where things are better. Where, where things are better. When I can call init keyboard event with bubbles arg and cancelable arg and view arg and key arg and location arg and control key and alt key and shift key and meta key. One of the many pain points of a language that has neither named parameters nor optional parameters nor function overloading, because it's all done via traits, but traits, you can't just do that with this necessarily. This is all machine generated because it's all just bindings for web APIs. But this is the better language, because at least I know what I'm getting into, right? Have you ever called, so many times I called a JavaScript function and I never really know what I'm getting into, and no tooling can help you if it's not documented at all. It's just like all tooling just gives up its hand, says good luck, Godspeed, and hopefully you don't crash. It's like, gee, thanks. Here, I know what I'm getting into. I know that my autocomplete window, if I just type I, it's going to overpopulate with all these, and it's going to be a problem. In other news, what the fuck is this music so sad? This isn't a sad topic. I guess it's a sad topic if you don't want to program in Rust, which is funny. I've got two things to show you. Actually very cool. Okay, I don't know if I should show like a news thing. This is like the local Toronto news. Church Street is now in a pedestrianization project. Church Street is pedestrianized for an entire summer. I think until August. It's actually very cool. Reject. From here we go. What planning phase? Okay, pilot period. Here we go. From June 19 to August 21. The entirety of Church Street is pedestrianized, and I've actually seen some videos of it because I haven't gone down there. I literally have no reason to go down there, but I've seen some videos of people where they walk around stuff, and it's like, it's so nice, and it's fascinating how much better it feels, because like you can just walk around and it gets lively. And this is an area that has a lot going on. There's a lot of restaurants, places, bars, just hangout spots. There's a lot of like events going on here. There's a lot of like sort of like important community stuff around here as well. There's a fucking Baskin Robbins. Holy shit. This is modern, okay? Back in my day, Church Street did not have this many stuff. Is that cannabis? What is it? Health center. Oh, Church Wellesley. Yeah, the health center. Look, you get pizza. Look, you can get pizza on the go, and you can just walk around. And look, it actually feels like you want to walk around. It was actually very fascinating. I didn't think the city would ever go towards like an experiment like this, but there's been a lot of very interesting experiments with our sort of downtown core lately, from very interesting transit lines that have resulted in much better overall traffic and sort of like an increase in the amount of people going there, as well as like better ergonomics around just living in a part of a city where you can just actually walk around and enjoy your life and just see things. Like, I love this, because honestly, cars downtown are crazy. I think I've been closest to death because of all the cars downtown, where they would just go wild. They try to like run you over to like kill you. But now you can go to Second Cup. What? It's still alive? Holy shit! This place is like the only Second Cup I've ever seen. Dude, this thing was like dead like 20 years ago. But yeah, it's a really cool experiment that's happening for the entire month, and you actually get to what the fuck, and you actually get to see the effects of it. It actually brings people out more. Not even as like a temporary thing. It feels like to me that people will gladly show up to walk somewhere if they can walk there and it doesn't feel like they're going to die. Right. Granted, I think this is, and also too, like this part of the street is not that interesting. Like, unless you care about a bistro that probably serves like okay food, as well as like a food market that's just a grocery store. Like, there's not really much to do here, and yet people are still walking around, just enjoying the air. I mean, people are just sitting on these random, benches, just hanging out, and they just hang out with people. There's patios. There's the stag shop. Okay, well, okay, that's a little awkward though. Right? Because now, wait. I just realized something. If it's a pedestrianized street, you have to go in, buy your sex toy. You leave the store. You then have to walk with your sex toy back to your car where the parking is. But these parking signs are gone. Like, there is no parking lot. This is now not really a lot for parking. This is a parking lot that's been repurposed, you can see, with the tent into like a space for something. So, yeah, the stag shop. You go in, you buy like your, I don't know what size dildos. Like, you buy an 8-inch dildo, and then you're like, I'm gonna use this later. And then it's in the bag. It's like flopping around. This is like, because they're not gonna give you like a box. Like you think sex toy stores make money off of their margins? No. I've heard from people who work there that the margins are not that good. So you gotta save money. They'll chuck it into a plastic bag that's a little bit too thin and doesn't really hold diamond structure, and you just see like the rhinoceros horn just sitting there, dangling around, flopping around. At least before, you could park here, get in, get out, go straight home. Right now, enjoy your like 30-minute walk, buddy. Enjoy your subway ride. Maybe some stores will suffer, but others will thrive. And you know what? If the Wella Bar restaurant will thrive, over the stag shop, I think that's a worthy trade, but I don't really know if either are necessarily better than the other. Oh shit. Wait, I had some more videos. But yeah, it's so fascinating to sort of see. Sadly, these are news videos like CP24. Okay. Can you stop talking? Can you just show me? Okay. Well, this is a terrible view because you're showing cars. I don't know what to tell you. This is murder of my cozy comfort street, my cozy comfort pedestrian street that like now has a car running down it. I'm surprised we still have Beck taxis actually. Yeah. So it's also Pride Month, but also like just the whole area is like the whole just like a whole thing. I actually think, where does the parade go? Did it go down again? I can't remember where the parade goes down. But it's like near her. But yeah, it's these are the worst shots of the street I've ever seen before. It's so boring. Hello? What happened to the walking? What happened to the walking? Part of Toronto's CBC News. Surely CBC has a better view. Okay, so, oh right, this is before. Wait, starting Friday. It started Friday? Oh shit, it did. June 19th. Yeah. I guess the news hasn't caught up yet. Or maybe the news doesn't care about like what this is. Has the news not caught up yet to the fact that there's like a cool street going on? But yeah, it's one of the streets that I've always thought should be like this, and I've always thought like it should be a lot more pedestrianized or just a lot safer for you to go around. Because like, not to say that like the cars were necessarily always bad, but it really hampered a lot of the feel. You know what I mean? The community vibe, and the community is very strong, but the space wasn't very receptive to the community, if that makes sense, in terms of like the way that it was architectured. And so it's kind of weird when you have the space that's just locked up for no reason, and you have basically no room for you to do anything. But now, like, look at this. That's pretty good. What? Woody's a sailor. Oh god, the smoking. Okay, I will say we do need to stop the smoking. It's just so shitty. Thank you, Rodney, for telling us. But I was really hoping that maybe the smoking would stop. Okay, well, it's a cool project. It's gonna go on for the entire month, and I'm actually very surprised that decided to go with it. It's one of those things that, like, again, another thing that I wouldn't have expected to happen in my lifetime is a road where you have to walk, and like it's actually encouraged for you to walk, and you can just walk on the street, and there's like a giant group of people who are just willing to walk around it, and it leads to such look at the vibe. Because honestly, patios slap. I love patios. I feel like patios are the best thing in the world. But like every single restaurant patio is like maybe 2 steps away from some sort of like streets, and you feel like you're going to die or something. It sucks. Whereas here, it's peaceful. You can eat your chipley, chipley, chipple, chipley. The hell's what? You can eat your chippy. You can go eat your just I don't know what these are, but like you see this line of this is all patio. That's crazy. This rarely ever happens. Wait, this is in Montreal. Fuck, they're using a clip from Montreal to show off what could have been, but because the French got it first, God. It's actually fascinating. I saw some comments online that were like, "Oh yeah, we're finally catching up to our cousins over in Montreal." I'm like, yeah, we are. A lot of Quebec and Montreal is a lot better. A lot of Quebec and Montreal is so much better than what we have here. So car centric over here. But you can just go and eat food. It is, again, surprisingly the only video I can find of this. Is it really only the Reddit video? Like, that's the only video? Church pedestrian street video. Is this the only video that I can find that's like the only one? It's only on Reddit and this person posted 18 hours ago. This is literally the only video, and it shows the most dead part of the street. Are you kidding me? Is it happening today? Will it be open for the weekend? Nobody until August. Fucking August is crazy too, because like that's 2 months worth. I hope that businesses do get to report higher margins, and I definitely don't think it's going to be like a novelty factor. I think especially during the summer months, there's so much value to be gained. Because, like, the thing, too, is, like, during the winter months, right? It's not like you're gaining much anyways. No one's going to drive in the winter downtown. That's an awful experience. I've done it once and I nearly died. And at least, but during summer, right? You get all this walking traffic that wants to be outside, that, like, wants to spend time outside. And with the return to office, sadly, I guess the side benefit is that now you can have a nice walk on your way to the office. Maybe you stop at the stag shop and get something to, I don't know, make your day less boring, I guess. So who the hell lives up here, man? I want to live up here. These places always look so nice. I've always wanted to live up here. It's like, man, they always have such nice balconies. But yeah, I'm very curious to see how this goes. I'm hoping that the businesses do report a lot of good coming from it for the next 2 months. I'm hoping too that like the city, I guess, listens to it. The hard part is sort of, obviously any city change is going to take a lot of effort, but I'm very curious to see how well this goes. Because if this goes well, right? Open Streets is anticipated to pedestrianize Yonge Street for the day. Yonge Street is probably the most popular street in the city. If I think of like Yonge and Dundas, that's probably the one street that everything, like when you think of downtown Toronto, that's basically downtown Toronto, is that street. So if you pedestrianize that whole street, it's going to change everything, I think. Because I don't know how to say it. It's as if cars don't exist anyways down there. If you've ever driven a car down there, it takes you 30 minutes to go from like one sidewalk to the next, if that makes sense. It's very, very, very slow. But if this works, what you get is this nice stretch of road that has all these businesses that was already built in many ways for walking traffic, because Eaton Center is so close, and all these other sort of experiences are so close. The universities, the schools, various sort of like other centers, they all sort of congregate around there, if that makes sense. And so it's like it's already built for that, and now you have this ability to be fully pedestrianized. I think it's going to go very well. And even maybe 15, 20 years ago, when I went to Nuit Blanc for that one time just to check it out, it's just like a really weird thing. It's kind of a cool thing, but it's also kind of like boring. It's like an art citywide art exhibit where you go and like the entire downtown is shut down to show off and become like an art exhibit. No cars, no nothing. You just get to go around. Every single space is an art exhibit across basically the entire downtown area. Um, During that period when there were basically no cars, or like I think there weren't any cars allowed, it was so cool to see people just walking around, just chatting, hanging out, and it didn't feel dense. The key too is that when you do it on these larger streets like Church Street and Yonge Street, is that because there's so much empty space, it never feels like you're struggling to breathe like at a concert. You feel like you have room to flow and to move through and to sort of find your own little corner. It works. And also just in general, I feel like it's gonna lead to better outcomes long term with like transit and stuff. Hoping that that works. But yeah, see, look, they even say this. Montreal has conducted a pedestrianization project, that pilot that's over several years, which resulted in the stretch being permanently designed for seasonal pedestrian. What the fuck is this image? What is this image? Can I see this image? Can I see this image? What's the document heading wrapper? No, I want the image. I want this like weird freako image. This like weird freak image. Here we go. Res Cloudinary. What the hell is a Cloudinary? Ville Montréal. What the hell's Cloudinary? Chat, this is like what who makes these images actually? The world's visual experiences start here. The AI native media platform. AI native. Yeah, I can see that alright. What is she looking up at? Yeah, it's AI native alright. Yep. Very AI native. Yep. Very AI native. What is this? That delivers every image and video at scale, built for every team, with builders, developers. What is a builder versus a developer? Create an experiment with low code tools. Oh, I see, a fucking idiot. What the hell is this? Why is this? What? This is your placeholder image? Dude, this guy looks terrifying. What the hell is this? This guy looks absolutely horrifying. Looks like he would eat me. It actually kind of looks like the "Let's fucking go" emote, but like way funnier. Because like it's something about like the juxtaposition of his like very buff upper body and his did you skip leg day bottom body is like very fascinating to me. This is wow. I didn't know there was a company for this. That you just served images. Sorry, why did it zoom in on the Asian woman? Why is it targeting me? Why is it targeting my fellow Asian? Why did the system target my Asian woman, huh? My fellow Asian woman. Why did it target her? It's like, single her out, get her, knock her down, charge for her. What the fuck is this? Whoa. Is this problematic? Is this website problematic? Commerce, experiences, media operations. That's it. Wait, this is just like, I don't know, WordPress or something. No, this is just like, this is just Shopify. What the hell is this? So what is this? Sorry, wait. What is this? It's digital assets. It's just a CDN. But how come it also talks about this like AI automation flow and this idea of like shops and stuff? What? Oh, just an example of where you would use it if you're like a business owner. I see. The Cloudinary difference. You write the code, you get the images. That's right. APIs at the core. Modern UI. Pre-built integrations. Now display images in image gallery. Fascinating. I'm actually curious to see why companies like this, for instance, use AI. Especially because like the AI stuff doesn't really help them very much. Because it's not like it's gonna like I just don't know the point of a company releasing their own model for their own stuff in a way that is like underperforming compared to other models because there's no way you have enough data to make it work. But also it's so specific that it's useless otherwise. It's like what, and then the operating costs of that, right? Having to store all the data, having to have all the data ready, having to actually like run the model. You can't imagine how expensive that must be. But yeah, Montreal gets everything faced. More space for walking. I mean, especially look at this too. For streets like this, wait, is this a fake image or a real image? I can't tell. It is fake. I always wonder, like, what's the point of streets like this having cars? Because I'm like, I get it. There's a lot of space for cars, but like, there's a lot of stores and trees and stuff that aren't really for cars. And it's not like the cars. This is the thing too. Okay, when you look at that Church Street thing, but even this one is a good example, even though it's kind of fake. There's no way that a car is going to be able to stop on the side, and you're going to be able to make the walk over, and then you're going to be able to pull out after to go. There's presumably a bike lane over here. I don't know why she's riding in the car lane. She's crazy. But there's presumably a bike lane. Seoul Choco. This is a Korean barbecue joint. It's really good. I don't actually know if that's real. Seoul Choco. It is permanently closed. Oh, oh shit. Oh shit, they shut down? After being closed for almost a year because of lockdowns, many restaurants have found it extremely hard or impossible to make up the losses. Probably because of the cleanliness. Lol, the roach give that flavor. Sadly, not everyone agrees. It's a canteen in your area. They didn't pass inspections multiple times. No wonder I kept shitting my ass off after going to them twice. The KBBQ in front of them never gave me that. They have Dalgone? Holy shit! I didn't know Dalgone was like a brand or like a franchise. The place wasn't even run by Koreans. Dalgone, sorry, Dalgone. What the? Wait, but they also have Dalgone. Huh. I went to the asked for Samjang mode, and the guy didn't know what I was saying. Buddy, we're all Canadians here, okay? It's hard. But yeah, what are the odds that you're going to be able to pull off to the side, park somewhere, and then walk in? It never made sense to me. I still don't really get the point of streets like this, where there's so much business on the side that is effectively inaccessible to cars unless they find a parking spot. And so I'm like, okay, if the entire point of it is to transit through an area, why don't you just reroute the cars to, a better traffic flow on the outskirts such that they can actually get to where they need to be, right? Obviously, there's a problem of like, how do you get into the center if you're coming from far away? And, maybe we just sacrifice them, like they're the sacrificial lamb for the experiment. But in the future, really, the idea is that you would pull up into some place that's closer somewhere, and then you would transition to like an inner city transportation method, which would be a lot better. Because honestly, what's the point? The car is just to take up a bunch of space. It's not really going to lead anywhere, and you can't just pull up to a store in front of it. It's not like Southeast Asia, where you've got this. It's not like Southeast Asia. Vietnam's richest man wants everyone to ride. Oh no. Vietnamese billionaire. Oh no. Oh no. The billionaires have spread to Vietnam. Things to see in Vietnam. The no nonsense travel guide. What the hell are these videos, chat? Anthony Bourdain scoots through. If I show this, I'm gonna DMCA it immediately. What was this? Who cares about the richest man? Look. Sorry, fuck off. This? Okay? Is there a way for you to show like a scooter? I don't know. Vietnam walking. No commentary. No commentary speed run. Can I get a Vietnam no commentary speed run? Viet Cong? No, not the Viet Cong, man. Not the Viet fucking Cong. Why is this here? Jesus Christ. We're ying. Here we go. In Sarong, in Ho Chi Minh. I found out that like apparently people say Sarong because it's easier to say in like a public colloquial sense, but people have to use obviously like HCMC Ho Chi Minh City for the for like official documents. But apparently everyone just still says Sarong because it's faster. Yeah, look at this. See this? It is not like whatchamacallit, Southeast Asia. In Southeast Asia, you literally can just peel off the road and go straight into a spot that you want to check out, right? Like, oh, I kind of want some pho, and I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna pull up here and get some Baskin Robbins. What do you mean, dude? That's twice now that I've seen Baskin Robbins. I was looking for the pho. Oh wait, pho. Sorry, that's a pho. That's a pho. And then okay, look, you can go in the Circle K. You can just pull your bike up and just hang out there. You can get like, I don't know, like a baguette on the side. It's so easy, right? But like we could have this too. Literally, the transition could be you could transition from your car to a scooter, to a motorbike. And I think you would have a much better time. You'll say there's a parking lot to the right side. There's like it would be so much better because you could just go and then have a snack there. Also, these places always seem so sad because they have to sit outside to like try to draw people in to drink. Because this is like a very touristy place, very touristy. Jesus Christ, it's like a fucking club down here. I forgot how crazy the street was. My wife, she always says like, "Honey, we're never gonna walk here." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." Because she used to go here pretty often, and she was like, "We're never gonna go here." She only went because her family like wanted to go check it out, and she's like, "This place sucks." Like it's cool to see, but my God, is it loud and way too bright? And I'm like, yeah, it's giving me a headache. Yeah, you just like it's not like Southeast Asia when you just pull your bike up and you just hang on this on the outskirts, right? Here, what you gonna do with your car? Okay, your car is gonna go up and it's gonna get stuck on like a barrier and then it's gonna be dented. All right, it's not the same. Here, look at this guy. Look, you see that person? Do you see that family? Actually, you see that family? Hold up, we gotta track that family. That family is like this is the epitome of bike life. See that family? Okay, look. Okay, let's see the family. Family spotted. Family spotted. Family, two kids, one in the front, one in the back, mom in the middle. They're going in to get some food at a local restaurant. Guess what she does? Does she need to find a parking spot? No. She just peels into this like backside corner with her bike, goes in and parks there. This guy, see this guy? NASA scientist, okay? Actual factual NASA scientist. I bet this guy was on the Artemis, okay? You just didn't see him because he was hiding. He wasn't camera ready, so and like he wasn't PR trained, so they couldn't have him sitting in the front. Art gallery. Min an what? Portrait reproduction. I guess that's like a photo op thing. I don't know, or like a photo place. Um, he pulls up his bike to get what a haircut? Hooked up, hooked up is like a haircut place. Circle K, it's like a bar. Wait, so he just pulled up to get a haircut? I mean, okay, honestly, these people, they're not. The people in the video aren't doing a good job of stopping at interesting places. All right, who gives a shit about JoJo? Dude, I wouldn't even buy that clothing hanging there. It's full of like tire dust, man. Is there anybody who pulled up to our restaurant? Beer beer mopjamer. Holy shit, 110 beers. Ah, here we go. Barbecue dalat. There we go. Here we go. See that? Got off the bike. Talks to her friend. Says, "Hey, what's up? It's been a while. I'm gonna grab some barbecue and then I'm gonna fuck off." You can't do that with a car. A car just doesn't work. With a bike, you can do it. Bikes, pedestrianized roads. We're finally hitting the future. Sorry, I got into a very long rant. I just wanted to catch up on some things and show some things because it's actually pretty cool stuff. Very interesting development. I have many demos for us to play. Many demos. I'm actually very curious to see how well these demos go because some of these demos will probably get me banned. My goal is to be banned today. So I can take a break and go away and do my own thing. I've actually been enjoying programming, so I probably will have to stop streaming times more often. Also, because I applied to some places, and I'm hoping that these roles end up well. So I'm catching up on some things that I've fallen behind on, particularly around the machine learning stuff, because I have to learn a lot about how it works and the operations. I never actually deployed a model in like a larger scale, so I have to figure out how it's actually done, and I have to see how well and how difficult that is, and what constraints there are. I have to read the various research papers and and developer testimonials to see how well it goes. And I've also got to read on a whole bunch of things because I'm moving into more infrastructure roles, and I hate infrastructure roles. I hate infrastructure roles, but pays the money. But yeah, we're gonna play some demos today. I have a lot of demos. I'm hoping that these demos get me banned, so I have some time to program things. Okay, because my goal is to program things. Please stop updating. Also, as an update, wait, what? Lapis Stasia demo. It's getting updated. Oh my god! Please give me a moment. Please, just give me like 20 seconds. 10 seconds. Okay, good. We may or may not be able to play Friend Slop on the stream, in the form of Mecha Chameleon soon, because Sweet D wanted to play it, but it all depends. It all depends on whether or not we can actually find enough people that have a similar taste to us. Yeah, a lot of strange demos today. As far as I can tell, these are not adult games, but they definitely do feel like adult games. So we're just gonna start with the one that I think is gonna get me banned the most, and we'll sort of go on from there. And I have to go take a piss. I'll be back. I swear to God, it's just peeing. I'm just peeing. There's nothing crazy about it. My hand may be touching my penis, but it is not doing anything other than to hold it for the stream. I'll be back in just a moment. BRB. Who knew drinking so much Coca-Cola would result in so much piss? Anyways, I have more very odd demos. Sorry, I have more very odd demos to play. It just keeps going. Like all of them are fairly similar in terms of the subject matter. I'm pretty sure this one is actually fine for me to play. I think this one had the same problem of like everyone thinks it's like a Gooner game, but it's not really a Gooner game. It's a Gooner-esque game, but it's not it's not bad for you to play on Steam type of game. This should be okay. This should be okay. Yeah, it has no adult tag, so it should be okay. I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one, but we'll see how it goes. Fake Coomer as a Okay, well that's it. That might be the best game that might be the best thing I've ever experienced. That was great. I have to go though. As it is, as it goes. Tomorrow though is a long day as well. I'll be here until probably the 23rd, 24th. I'm not really sure. See how it goes. See how long I feel like. Hopefully I don't get banned today because of all the card games and all the weird shit that I played. But hopefully it's fine. See you all tomorrow. Bye everyone. Thanks for showing up. Sorry I was gone for so long. We had a bunch of last minute plans that got shuffled and canceled and stuff like that, so we'll figure it out. But that's why I'm here. I'm gonna go order fried chicken and some wedges because honestly, seeing those maid cafes, I kind of want something. And I will never have a maid hold up their hand and go Fury, Fury, Kyun, Kyun, Moe, Moe. Ta-da!